Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the Darlington Raceway as we're getting set for race number 10 of the second season of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, powered by the WRA. Getting ready to go racing for Darlington Raceway um, in this race, 74 laps about to be run here this evening. Scarlett Wallace, after winning the pole last night for the Truck Series drivers, we'll start on the pole with Mark Games alongside Jacob Foster, Carlos Rodriguez in row number 2. Scarlett is making her second start, I would like to say. I'm going to double check that. No, fourth start of the year. This is what happens when I'm not even fully awake yet. I have food with me, so I'm doing my best to stay awake. Mark Games, 18th in the points. Jacob Foster is making his, he's making a second start of the year. And then Carlos Rodriguez comes into this race in that critical 30th in the points, which he is locked in the show, but another poor finish for Carlos Rodriguez. He will be out of the top 30 in the point standings as you look at the rest of the qualifying results, which is basically the same. As the Truck Series field rolls off, going to make sure nobody's having any issues. It looks like nobody's having issues. Let me find my... Oh, sorry. Hold on a second. There we go. I was trying to find me a towel to wipe my glasses off because I was trying to clean them. Getting ready for 74 laps of racing. Going to go over the points in just a second after we take the green. And here we come to the green flag. We're racing the 10th race of the season of the Truck Series. Going to be a fun race here tonight. 73 laps is how far these trucks can go, so they cannot make it 74 laps on a fuel run. So we'll be seeing a pit stop in tonight's race, and getting on the pit road is going to be a challenge for these 42 drivers tonight. This is, by the way, the South Carolina Educational Lottery 200, for anyone asking what the race name is called. I know at Charlotte it'll be called the North Carolina Educational Lottery 200. So 2 races we're going to have the Educational Lottery in the sentence. All jokes aside, Jacob Foster in second place. Jacob did not qualify for the Busch race, but we will see him tomorrow night trying to qualify the Cup car in the show. Which he will be driving the McDonald's 91, trying to qualify his way into the Cup race. There's Victoria Hughes. I thought I derped for a second on that name. Inside line is the place you you want to be in. As there's T Takashi in the 9. Good start to the race for him. I think it's a him. I could be wrong, but I will have to ask the owner. He dropped 10 spots down to 21st in the points. He is still in the top 30 in the points. There's Daniel Gitteroth. There's Bora Park. We'll see her tomorrow night in the Busch race. Just qualified the Busch car in the show. She'll also have to qualify the Cup car in the show tomorrow night. Same with Quentin Moore. Michael Brown, he will also have to qualify his way into the Cup race tomorrow night before we get ready before the Busch race. Don't think he made the Busch race. I'll have to double check on that. Actually, I'll double check right now, as a matter of fact, as I got my. I did not ask for a photo. Go back to the Busch Series deal. As we're looking at Dylan Ebrahimian, he'll start 24th tomorrow night in the Busch race. He'll also have to qualify his way into the Cup race before that. Michael Brown did not qualify for the Busch race, but we'll see him tomorrow night. We'll see him on the Cup side tomorrow night, as Scarlett Wallace currently is the race leader. Now, about the top 10 of the points before I forget and then get called an idiot sandwich. Gretchen Miller is the points leader by 21 points over Dylan Cunningham, the rookie, top 2 in the Rookie of the Year standings. Boar Park, we mentioned, 34 back and 3rd in the standings. Ingrid Pollard is 4th, Ashton Ingersoll 5th. Luis Hernandez, Anthony Ritchie, Mark Simpson, Abigail Furling, Maisie Creighton will complete your top 10. We'll be seeing Maisie Creighton next week for All-Star Weekend, when it's only the Cup drivers that weekend. This is the first time the trucks and the Busch Series drivers have raced at Darlington, because the only series I know that ran Darlington from season 1 was the Cup drivers, Maddie Crenshaw, who we will be seeing her, as well as the 34 other drivers locked in the top 35 tomorrow. Going for the pole in the Southern 500 for the Cup drivers tomorrow night. That'll be at 5 p.m. Before we have the ROXOR 200 Busch race at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Of course, before the truck race began, we had to clean up all that debris from the mayhem that was from the Busch qualifying session earlier today, just before this race began. So while pre-rate or not, or while driver intros and all that stuff was going on, the Darlington safety team went to work getting everything cleaned up, all the debris, making sure there's no crush panels, fiberglass, yada, yada, yada on the racing line. They also did a major cleanup, especially through 3 and 4. That way, these drivers that are running in this race right now did not have a tire puncture that could flat spot their tire, which that would be disastrous for those drivers in this race. So that is something that had to be avoided, if you ask me. Checking back here at the rear of the field, Cheyenne Berkshire running in last. A Ricci not had a good qualifying. There's Helga Gunnarsson. We'll see her tomorrow night trying to qualify the Cup car in the show. Victor Alvarez. And a Steiner in the 59 truck. Jumped up 8 spots to 16th in the points. There's Ashton Ingersoll, Sophia Woodward. Angel Diaz's driver. Luis Hernandez running in 35th. Hello Pace Truck. There's Ingrid Pollard. Top 10 in the points, not having a good run tonight. Lucian Bianchi. Ellie Rose qualified her way into her first Truck Series race. Her teammate, Futaba Sakura, did not qualify for the truck race. But Futaba will be in tomorrow night's race along with Ellie Rose, as Ellie is doing the double this weekend, as is Ebony Amirmwez. We'll see her tomorrow night in the Busch Series race. Both of those drivers qualified their way in. Ellie, funny thing is racing with her team owner, Jacob Foster, who's in this race with her. There's Erica Douglas. Will be running the Busch race tomorrow. Was announced she's also going to be attempting to qualify the number 72 machine in the Cup Series tomorrow night, trying to qualify that car in the show for the first time this season. Callie Springer, we'll see her tomorrow night in the Busch Series race. This is her truck debut, trying to learn what she can learn tonight that can help her tomorrow night. Zach Foster in the 51, running in 23rd. Unfortunately, Zach Foster did not qualify for the Busch race, so he's running. This is his only race of the weekend. Carlos Rodriguez, right behind our points leader, Gretchen Mueller. Carlos also did not qualify for the Busch race. He's got one more opportunity. That will be the Cup race later this weekend. There's Shyla Askarov running in 18th behind Dylan Cunningham. Shyla did not qualify for the Busch race earlier tonight. She will also try to qualify her way into the Cup race tomorrow night. So she's got one more opportunity this weekend. There's M Creighton. Ashlyn Wright, we'll see her tomorrow night in the Busch race. Also will be qualifying her 00 this weekend for the Cup Series. She is second in the Rookie of the Year standings over in the Cup Series. Addison Peterson, the 6th, did not qualify for the Busch race you'll see tomorrow night. Of course, Cassandra Mills, who, by the way, qualified into the Busch race, also have to qualify her way into the Cup race, trying to do double duty this weekend. I know Jacob Foster's got one more race to attempt to qualify. That will be the Cup race tomorrow night. There's Daniel Gitteroth. Gitteroth will also have to attempt to qualify for the Cup race tomorrow night. And he qualified 14th in tomorrow night's Busch Series race. You'll see right here on the Blue Hedgehog TV at 7 p.m. Eastern. As we are caution-free through now working on lap number 24 of the scheduled 74 laps. I believe 74, that's, I think, a little over 100 miles. I'll have to look it up. Yeah, I think it is a little over 100 miles. Let me confirm that. It is approximately 101 miles. So, yes, this race is a little over 100 miles. Okay. But I think you get the point. Sorry if you're hearing me talk with food in my mouth. That was rude of me. Sorry, y'all. It was pizza that I had, or, well, let me specify. It's Pizza Hut that my roommates had last night. I'm having for breakfast. Yeah, I know that's weird having breakfast pizza, but you blame me. Getting closer to the midway point of this race, Jacob Foster dropping back. Looks like he got up high. Let me make sure it is confirmed 73 laps. These drivers can go on fuel. Yes, is the answer. So these drivers are going to have to make a pit stop, and a treacherous pit road like Darlington is going to be tough to get onto. And we saw that a lot during, I think it was pole day qualifying for Busch. We'll also see that in the Cup Series tomorrow night. And the thing is, if Jacob Foster does make the Cup race, what is he going to learn from tonight's race that he could possibly apply should he qualify into the Saturday night's Cup race? And the other thing, and I think Futaba learned a lot, in the Busch deal. How did she learn from the truck race? I'll help her in the Busch series. Well, Ellie Rose is going to have to find that answer out as well. What will she learn tonight that's going to help her tomorrow night? Because tomorrow night is 92 laps in the Busch race. Which will be 125 miles. Because remember, Darlington's 1.36 miles. That's about an extra 24 miles for Ellie Rose tomorrow night. Of course, she'll be with Futaba. And you can definitely tell the pace is really slowed down. It's now a second and a half slower for Scarlett Wallace because, like I said, the tires are starting to go away. These trucks are starting to get tighter and tighter. So tires are starting to wear off. Fuel's going to be an issue. And I bet you for Ellie Rose, she'll probably be talking to Bora Park because remember, Bora's trying to attempt all 3 races this weekend. The only catch is that Bora Park is going to be the first on track, along with Ashlyn Wright, tomorrow when we get ready for pole day qualifying for the Cup Series. Because I think for Ellie Rose, and Futaba learned a lot, from the qualifying sessions we've seen with the Cup drivers on track. They put more rubber down to give these trucks, as Gitteroff becomes our first different leader than Scarlett Wallace. Is that, with more rubber down from the Cup drivers, it gives a lot more grip. So I think for Ellie Rose, when we get into tomorrow night's Busch Series race, she's going to learn that the track is going to change a lot from what she ran on the track earlier tonight, qualifying the Busch car into the show. Because the track's going to go through a lot of a change. And that's good for, drivers like Futaba Sakura, Ellie Rose, and some of those other drivers that have little experience in these series like Trucks and Bush, to talk to an Ashland Wright, to talk to a Bora Park, to talk to, Maisie Creighton or some of the drivers that are running all three races this weekend. Is that what were the track conditions like, and how do I adjust my truck or my car throughout the weekend? And that's really good help that some of these drivers. I mean, Ashlyn Wright, for instance, she's running all three races this weekend, already locked in the show in all three races, running inside the top 30 in the point standings, and running for the championship in all three. I like to point that out. And that's big right there to, have like a Bora Park or an Ashland Wright and all that. And I think for some of these young rookies, they're learning, that, the track is going through a lot of change. Because, like I said, we just had Busch qualifying before this race. And before the Busch race, we will already have Cup qualifying, as the track, like I said, is going to go through all that change, as Sasha Bright has just got around Michael Brown for the second position. And we're just past the halfway point in tonight's race. As I just got a ping from, it's from the D1 commissioner. And go ahead. I probably got the same thing from, I got the same thing from D2. No surprise there. Anyway, Daniel Gitteroth is the race leader. These drivers are now in their window to make it on fuel. Like I said, the tricky part about this racetrack, trying to get on the pit road. And a good thing for like Ashlyn Wright, Daniel Gitteroth, and Ebrahimian is they are possibly going to be doing this 3 times this weekend. Well, Ashlyn Wright's going to do it 3 times this weekend because she's running all 3 races this weekend. And she's locked in the show in all 3 series. So that's good for Ashlyn Wright, learning. Erica Douglas could possibly do all 3 races here this weekend because she qualified in the Busch race tomorrow night. She's also going to be in the Cup race, trying to qualify the Cup car in the show. Which, by the way, the 72 on the Cup side has no attempts and no points to fall back on to get a provisional. So that means it's top 7 or bust. Plus, here's the shocking part. There's 42 drivers for go or go homers vying for 7 spots. Thank goodness it's not for 6, because if it was for 6, the person who would have been 7th, and this is regarding about Cup, would fail to qualify. And really did not want that to happen, to be honest with you. And that's why Ponzo Albanese I think it is Ponzo Albanese. I'll have to double check. I think I'm right. I think it is Ponzo Albanese. I'll go confirm it. Yes, it is Ponzo Albanese. Ponzo's doing a good job trying to make sure nobody in go or go home qualifying gets screwed over. So Ponzo's doing a good job making sure no driver gets screwed over, which in Ponzo Albanese's defense, He would feel so sorry to that driver who just got royally screwed over, which Ponzo Albanese, he'll feel so sorry, he'll probably just give that driver a cookie. But Ponzo's in the top 10 of the points, so guess what? That champion's provisional means nothing to him. He's like, I don't give a crap if I have a championship or not. I just want to make sure nobody outside the top 35 gets screwed over. For a driver who has a lot of GT experience and has more road racing deal, can't say I disagree with him on that. As we're looking at Sasha Bright still leading the race. Now, here comes the question, and this is going to be key for Ellie Rose for tomorrow night. When will these drivers come to pit road? Because we're on the CTS physics. These cars are on the CTS physics. Oh, yeah, I'm going to throw a warning. My phone's about to go off for my alarm to wake up, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn off my alarm. That way you don't have to hear my alarm go off. Because I've been up, like I said, I've been up for a couple hours. So, because I went to bed early after qualifying last night. But anyway, back to the discussion about the what I'm going to say. With now about 50 laps, when do these drivers come to pit road? This is a big talk we're going to be discussing about. For not just for the Busch race tomorrow night, but for the Cup race, because the Cup race will be a lot longer than Trucks and Busch. Trucks and Busch are like 100, 125 miles between the two races, respectively. The Cup race is going to be a little bit longer. So do these drivers come to pit road now? Because we are in our window to make it the rest of the way. Because the thing is, trying to get on the pit road is going to be hard for these drivers because we have already completed 50 laps. And as soon as I said that this answered my question. Sophia Woodward, Luis Hernandez have come to pit road. So this actually answers my question I was getting ready to finish. So they came to pit road on lap 49. They will go a lap down. Wait a second. Is the caution out? Yes is the answer. Big wreck in turn number 3 and 4. Oh, that's a lot of drivers involved. Victor Alvarez, Ebony Ramirez, Alina Ricci, Erica Douglas. And this is disaster for Sophia Woodward and Luis Hernandez because they were on pit road when the pits were closed. They're going to be trapped a lap down. That is huge disastrous. Because all these drivers that did not come to pit road, they're going to make their pit stops. That was unfortunate timing for the 11 and the 17, respectively. Oh, boy. Well, throw that fuel situation out the window. And while these drivers are coming to pit road, let's jump back and look at the replay to see what happened. A big wreck right in the middle of green flag pit stops here at Darlington. Well, this is going to be a little bit screwy as we're going to see what happened here. I think we're going to have a misjudgment on the 22. Yeah, the 22 thought she was clear. Didn't realize Erica Douglas, Tatiana Noguera is involved. That's top 10 in the points coming in this race, Tatiana Noguera. Ellie Rose did a good job. This is the problem about Darlington Raceways. Ingrid Pollard got turned by Anna Steiner. How narrow this racetrack is. Cheyenne Berkshire. There's Helga Gunnarsson involved. Alina Ricci. Well, this makes up the carnage we didn't see at Dover last week, but good grief. Look at how many drivers are collected in this wreck. It's a shame for Victor Alvarez, who got a piece of it. He raced his way in. Anthony Ricci top 10 the points. Zeki Panini got through somehow. That's a lot of drivers involved in this incident. And for some of them running very well in the points, this was not what they wanted. Let's see. Tatiana was Panini 25th in the points. Tatiana 13th in the points. So, yeah, a lot of drivers who came in running well in points did not need something like this to happen. And this is going to have an ugly shakeup going into our next race in 2 weeks as we head to the restart at Darlington. Well, for Luis Hernandez and Sophia Woodward, they're going to regret coming to pit road before that yellow came out because now those drivers are going to be on the tail end lead lap needing another caution. Which that cycle of pit stops really shook ahead in the running order as far as that's concerned. Before we talk about the top 10 in the running order, drivers out from that incident: Tatiana Noguera, Victor Abla, Zach Foster, Ebonia Mirmoes. Tough break for her in her first start of her Truck Series career. Helga Gunnarsson and Alina Ritchie's bad weekend got worse. She will be out of the race. 20th in the points. Zach Foster, 29th in the points. He was 2 points ahead of the 30th in the standings cut line. The good news for him, the driver who was 31st in the points did not qualify for this race, so that's not good for Zach Foster, as 6 drivers are now out of the race, all in the infield care center. Some of these drivers already came to pit road before that caution came out. Dylan Cunningham is the leader, Carlos Rodriguez second, Callie Springer third, Sam Vickers fourth, Shyla Askraov fifth. Then it's Gretchen Mueller, Scarlett Wallace, Sasha Bright, Abigail Furling, and Quentin Moore, the top 10. Wallace on up already came to pit road before that caution came out. So that was good timing for them, but that really shook its head in the running order and also played a factor who might have won this race as we're back to green, as the 17 and the 11 are both up to speed. So they got caught out in that little kerfuffle, if you know what I mean. Also in our Craftsman 20 to go. So as here comes Carlos Rodriguez. Remember, Carlos comes in this race in that 30th in the standings cut line. So a big opportunity for him to get a lap lead, so that way he can get away from 30th in the standings. As Luis Hernandez will go a lap down as a result. So Luis Hernandez's gamble of pitting early before the yellow came out came back to bite him. Same with Sophia Woodward. So that decision was not a good decision. That was a bad idea. And that's going to cost both of them. Well, Sophia Woodward gets back on the lead lap. She'll be all right. Luis Hernandez, on the other hand, that just completely screwed him out of a good result, which is not good. So that caution really shaked up the running order big time. As Sophia is the last driver now on the lead lap. Of course, we didn't have any lap cars because we had a single file restart, which I think that was a good idea. And believe me, I'm a former winner at Darlington, and I know getting on the pit road is treacherous, but that caution for those drivers that did not come to pit road, that was a good call. But Sophia Woodward definitely going to be regretting that decision, guaranteed, if you ask me. So it also helped Shyla Askraov running in fourth. I believe she was near the rear of the field during that first run before the yellow came out. So that was a good timely call for her to come to pit road. And she did get the pit road before the pits were closed. And she managed to stay ahead of the pace truck. In fact, a number of these drivers stayed ahead of the pace truck to get themselves some track position. So that was a perfect timing. And I think that's going to be key going into this weekend, if they can time out the pit stop sequence. I know Abigail Furling came to pit road. That worked out in her favor, running in 8th, so that was a good decision. And Carlos Rodriguez looking for his first win on the season and of his career. And came in this race, only led 2 laps in the critical 30th in the standings. So if he could go to victory lane, this could be a well-needed win for the Monaco Chevrolet, because it has not been the best of seasons for Carlos Rodriguez here in the Truck Series. And if he wanted to stay in the top 30 in the points, he had to get a good result today. Because the only person who's been on his butt about that has been his team owner, Nathan Orman, who we will see him tomorrow qualifying the Busch car. Or, excuse me, the Cup car, not Busch car. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, as Callie Springer is going to take the race lead, as they could not get around the Hooters Ford F-Series of Sophia Woodward. She's trying to stay on the lead lap, hoping to get a caution that could help her get back on the lead lap. But with the laps winding down, that's going to be a tall order for the 11 team. I think for Sophia, she should just go ahead and surrender and just go a lap down right now, just to surrender the leaders, because that's basically it. Sam Vickers, Shyla Askarov in the 2. As we're now inside the 10 to go, so we would have a single file restart if we get another caution. As far as that is concerned, I want to remind everybody this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmit or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association is prohibited. Blue Hedgehog TV, the World Racing Association, I want to thank you, fans, for your support, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. Our next race for the Craftsman Truck Series drivers in 2 weeks when we go to Charlotte Motor Speedway. Next week, we head to Daytona International Speedway. Only the Cup drivers will be going there. We're going to have go home qualifying, as Sophia Woodward's finally going to surrender to Callie Springer. Trouble for Ruby White with an oil leak. And she's running in the 19th position. So, yeah, not the way she wanted to finish up her race. Hopefully she can get to pit road before too long, or just try to ride it out. Nothing she can do. And now that Luis and Sophia are now 1 lap down, that means we have 34 drivers on the lead lap. I believe they're getting closer to lapping Cheyenne Berkshire. Yes is the answer. And we're on that number. So Callie just got hit with a frying pan after the race. So there you go. And that's another thing we're going to also be talking about this weekend. Lap traffic playing a factor in the late stages of this race. Down to 5 to go, before to go next time by. Also should mention, next caution comes out would end the race. So Sophia Woodward would not be able to get herself back on the lead lap if we had a yellow. Looks like we got something coming up in the chat. Looks like 72 did come to pit road. Let's confirm that. Yep, she's on pit road. So that will take her out of the equation. And looks like the issue is not terminals. So there you go. And traffic for Callie Springer, as they have come up to Cheyenne Berkshire. Remember, Cheyenne was involved in that only yellow the race, which was in turns 3 and 4. So that, and also don't forget, Erica Douglas could also play a factor, as she's coming off of turn number 2. The leaders are coming into turn 2 right now. Next time by will be 2 to go. For Callie Springer, if she can pull off this upset, that would be big momentum for her going into tomorrow night's Busch Series race. As we're down to 2 to go here at Darlington. If a caution comes out now before the white flag, this will end the race. And race will end under the yellow flag. As now Callie just was trying to take her time getting around Cheyenne Berkshire. Looks like Cheyenne's not going to fight it over. And we're coming to the white flag. One more lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Here comes Sam Vickers. Looking the inside, could not get around the 65. They're not going to get to Erica Douglas, so Douglas will stay on the lead lap to finish it up. And Ellie Rose came to pit road. Looks like she didn't fill up her tank completely full of fuel. That's going to cost her a good result in her truck debut, which is a shame. But Callie Springer in her truck series debut will take the South Carolina Educational Lottery 200 here tonight at Darlington. Well, who saw that one coming? Not me. Excuse me. Sorry about that. That cough came out of nowhere. Excuse me. But Callie Springer in her debut race will go to victory lane. And what kind of confidence is that going to be for her going into tomorrow's Busch race? As the standings are now official. I want to make sure I had it on the right race. I want to make sure I didn't screw it up. Okay. Just want to make sure. Okay. She'll also be the highest of the rookies. Sam Vickers will get second. Good run for Sam. Sam Vickers came into this race 27th in the points table, so good run for him. He'll get away from 30th in the standings. Quiet run for S Askraov. She will come home in the third position, so she'll complete the podium. Gain 5 spots up to 17th in the points, so she'll continue to climb her way through the points table. Gretchen Mueller, the rookie points lead, and the overall points leader, comes home in 4th. She will no doubt keep the points lead heading into next week because the guy that was trying to run her down for the points lead, D Cunningham, 24th. As far as that's concerned, Carlos Rodriguez, well-needed run for a driver who came in this race at critical 30th in the standings. He will definitely get away from 30th in the standings, so a well-needed run for a driver who's been free-falling through the points the last couple of weeks. Sasha Bright will get 6th. Good run for a Go Homer. Same with Quinton Moore and Scarlett Wallace, who finished 7th and 8th. So throw a blanket under a couple of Go Home drivers there. Chikara Takashi comes home in 9th. Chikara came in this race in the 21st position in the points. He was a total of 40 points ahead of the 30th in the standings, so he will definitely get away from 30th in the standings as well. And a quiet run for Mark Simpson, which we haven't talked about him the last couple of weeks. He came as race 8th in the points. He'll stay in the top 10 of the points leaving today. Bora Park did some damage limitation coming home in 11th. Bora came into this race 3rd in the points, so she will be 2nd in the Rookie of the Year standings leaving tonight. Good run for Ashton Wright. Did not have a good qualifying effort. Was also free-falling through the points. 24th to be exact. This will get her away. She was 31 points ahead of 30th in the standings, so this will get her away from 30th in the standings. Quiet run for Addison Peterson. Excuse me there with the tongue twister. Sheesh. Addie came into this race 11th in points, and with a number of drivers ahead of her in the points who've had troubles, this could put her back in the top 10 of the points. Abigail Furling, quiet run, did damage limitation. Maisie Creighton will complete the top 15, also did damage limitation. She was 10th in the point standings. A good run for Rachel Sutton. Didn't talk much about her all race long, and she came home in the 16th position. That caution before the cycle of pit stops killed a number of drivers in the process as you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. Anthony Ricci, 28th. This is going to probably drop him out of the top 10 of the points. Zachy Panini, 30th. Erica Douglas was involved in that incident in turn 3, our only caution of the race, which saw 6 drivers did not reach the conclusion of the race. We had 36 drivers finish the race, 31 of them on the lead lap. Ellie Rose ran out of field. Tough break for her. As far as that's concerned, Ruby White had an oil leak issue, had to come to pit road in the closing stages of the race, and then Cheyenne Berkshire was involved in that wreck. Sophia Woodward, Luis Hernandez pitted before the yellow came out. That came back to bite them as they were hoping for good results. They will end up 34th and 36th. So we had 36 drivers finish the race, 31 on the lead lap. And as I said, 6 drivers did not reach the conclusion. Tatiana Noguera, Victor Abeles, Zach Foster, Ebony Mirmos, Helga Gunnarsson, and Lena Ritchie. Those 6 drivers who've been checked and released from the medical center were all involved in our only caution of the race. So they will end up 37th, 38th, 39th, 40th, 41st, and 42nd. That is not good for a number of those drivers like Alina Ritchie, who is near 30th in the standings. This will get her closer to 30th in the standings for all the wrong reasons, if you ask me. But Darlington played its part in a point shakeup and saw a first-time winner in her debut race, Callie Springer, go to victory lane. I bet you this will be the theme we're going to see this race weekend at Darlington Raceway. We'll see what happens tomorrow night in the Busch race. Before that, Winston Cup qualifying at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to find out the 7 drivers that will race their way into the Cookout Southern 500, and then it'll be the ROXOR 200 for the Busch race. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed tonight's race. Subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew. Today, we showed your full finisher results. Your point standings are down in the description as a result of what happened in this race. And we'll see these Truck Series drivers in 2 weeks at Charlotte because we have all-star duties we have to take care of with the Cup drivers next week at Daytona, which we will first have to finish this weekend off before we even think about the World Center of Racing. Now for our studio engineer, Caleb Hobbs, I'm Dana Voles. Thank you for joining me and saying good night from Darlington Raceway. We congratulate Callie Springer on her first career win and her first career start in the Craftsman Truck Series. Coming up next, we'll rejoin the Infinity Network Sports Studios programming already in progress. I will talk to you again tomorrow. You've been watching the World Racing Association's Multimedia Network.